It's a big week. It's Canberra, it's Jackson Hole. There's a lot going on. Good morning, Tom Piotrowski. How do we begin today?
Pete, you offer some excellent context there, particularly in relation to the Jackson Hole event. So on Friday, as Northern Hemisphere investors look ahead to the next week, those sorts of circumstances gave them little inspiration to take on more risk. So we saw markets in the neighbourhood of record highs, but they just backed away in modest terms, you'd have to say. So the S&P 500 lower by 1/3%. The Nasdaq was down 0.4%. The Dow Jones managed a slight improvement, but it was only up by around 0.1%. Reasonable outcomes in weekly terms. You saw the Dow Jones outperform with a gain of 1.7%. The S&P 500 up by around 0.9%. There were some sizable company moves. United Health shares were up 12% on news that Warren Buffett had taken a stake in the beleaguered organisation. That organisation has fallen substantially over the course of the last year. Applied Materials, the biggest chip maker in the US, down by 14%. Pete, on the back of a disappointing update, particularly its outlook. So they were some of the bigger movers. But in terms of what's going to affect the local market today, the SPY futures are pointing to a decline of 0.6%. So we've got an avalanche of earnings over the remainder of this week, Pete. Today, one of the highlights will be A2 Milk. The expected outcome there is a $201 million profit. The stock is up quite substantially in year-to-date terms, up by about 38%. So the bar will be high for an amazing outcome there, I suppose. Elsewhere, we've got downward pressure on commodity prices as well. So oil prices have fallen by the better part of 1.5% thereabouts when it came to oil prices ahead of the summit in Alaska. Iron ore down by around 0.2%, and the Aussie dollar at 65.1 US cents.
Alrighty, Tom Piotrowski, thank you.